Hello everyone. Today we are learning a poem How to Tell Wild Animals. This poem is written by Carolyn Wells. If ever you should go by chance to jungles in the east, and if there should to you advance a large and tawny beast, if he roars at you as you are dying, you will know it is the Asian lion. The poet here cautions the readers against the wild beast found in the jungle. Here the poet tells us that if we ever get a chance to go to the jungles in the east and come across an animal with yellowish brown skin and whose roar is loud enough to scare us to death, we must recognize the animal as an Asian lion. Or if, sometime when roaming around, a noble wild beast greets you with black stripes on a yellow ground, just notice if he eats you. This simple rule may help you learn the Bengal tiger to discern. Here the poet talks about an animal from a royal chain. He says that while roaming in the jungle, we come across an animal with yellowish skin and black stripes, and just in case he kills and eats us up, we must recognize the wild animal as a Bengal tiger. Dark humor is used in this stanza because after one is already eaten by an animal, it is of no use to recognize its type. If strolling forth a beast you view, whose hide with spots is peppered, as soon as he has leapt on you, you will know it is the leopard. He will do no good to roar with pain, he'll only lap and lap again. In the third stanza, the poet tells us about leopards. He says while casually walking in a jungle, if we come across an animal who has a skin with spots on it, and it goes so fast that it can jump upon us at once, we must recognize the animal as a leopard. The poet says that crying out in pain will be of no use because the leopard will only keep on jumping on us. If when you are walking around your yard, you meet a creature there who hugs you very, very hard, be sure it's a bear. If you have any doubts, I guess he'll give you just one more caress. Here the poet says if while walking in the yard we come across an animal that hugs us tightly, then it's a bear. If we want to make sure of its identity, the easiest way is that the animal will just keep hugging you and touch you very gently. This act will confirm its identity as a bear. Though to distinguish beasts of prey, a novice might nonplus, the crocodile you always may tell from the hyena thus. Hyenas come with merry smiles, but if they weep, they are crocodiles. In this stanza, the poet tells that if one is new to the job of identifying wild animals, it will be like a puzzle to identify animals who hunt other animals for their food. The poet helps the reader by differentiating between the two animals. He says hyenas will be smiling while crocodiles will be teary-eyed. Both of these animals are dangerous. The true chameleon is small, a lizard sort of thing. He hasn't any ears at all, and not a single wing. If there is nothing on the tree, it's the chameleon you see. Here the poet talks about a little creature chameleon. It looks like a lizard. It doesn't have ears or wings. The poet also tells the readers that a chameleon can change its color based on the surface it sits on. So if you see a tree and find nothing sitting on it, it must be a chameleon who has changed its color into the color of the tree. The rhyme scheme of the poem is A, B, A, B, C, C. You can see it. View, you, peppered, leopard, pain, again. It's A, B, A, B, C, C. The poet narrates the poem in a humorous tone. Her descriptions of how animals like tiger, lion, and leopard kill are intended to make us laugh. Her statement about a bear hug is also an example of humorous tone employed in the poem. Humor is the best medicine for every ailment in life. Explain how the poet creates humor in the poem. Humor is infectious. When humor is shared, it binds people together and increases happiness. Humor strengthens our immune system, boosts our energy, diminishes pain, and protects us from the damaging effects of stress. It is the priceless medicine for every ailment in life. The poet, in the poem How to Tell Wild Animals, creates humor by describing various beasts. The way the poet explains the things is very funny yet interesting manner. The poet has depicted the wild life very vividly in a lively manner. While reading the poem, the readers enjoy the poet's work and it leaves them refreshed and happy. What is the famous saying associated with crocodiles and what does it mean? The famous saying associated with crocodiles is that of shedding crocodile tears. It means pretending to be sad or showing fake emotions. People use it when someone acts sorry but doesn't truly care. What is the purpose of the poem How to Tell Wild Animals? The purpose of the poem is to create humor. The poet creates humor by suggesting dangerous ways of identifying wild animals. You can identify most of the bees while they are attacking you. Instead of shouting for help or trying to protect yourself, you are busy identifying the attacker. The idea creates humor. What humorous descriptions do you find in the poem? We find some humorous descriptions about the animals in the poem. The poet has created it by selection of words and his pattern of explaining. The humor used in the poem is suggestive and mild. If the Asian lion roars at you as you are dying, the Bengal tiger is a noble, wild beast that greets you when you're roaming around in the jungle. The unsparing leopard will show no mercy and it will do no good to roar with pain. If you have any doubts, the bear will give you just one more caress. The poet uses subtle humor when he says, hyenas come with merry smiles, but if they weep, they are crocodiles. How can you distinguish between a tiger and a leopard? A tiger has black stripes on its yellow coat. A leopard, on the other hand, does not have any stripes. It has spots peppered on its body. Moreover, a tiger kills only when it is hungry, while a leopard can kill for the pleasure of killing by pouncing continuously on its prey. How can you distinguish between a hyena and a crocodile? What is so weird about hyena and the crocodile? Some animals such as the hyena and the crocodile are famous for their weird behavior. A hyena laughs as it swallows its victim, whereas a crocodile weeps as it swallows its victim. A laughing hyena's voice resembles humans' laughing sound. What are the distinctive features of the Asian lion as given in the poem? The Asian lion is large in stature. It is brownish yellow in color. It roars very loudly. The sound of its roar is so terrible to hear that it can make one almost die due to fear. The Asian lion is found in the forests of East Asian countries. What does the Bengal tiger look like? What is so distinct about him? The Bengal tiger roams freely in the forest. It is noble and majestic in stature. It wears black stripes on a yellow hide. When the tiger notices someone, it tries to eat him. The Bengal tiger attacks his prey very silently and grasps it with his terrifying teeth. A leopard has black spots all over its body. As soon as it sees someone, it leaps over him at once. It keeps on pouncing continuously on its victim, attacks him, and starts eating him. How does the poet describe the bear? The poet describes the bear in a humorous way. He says that as soon as the bear sees a human being, it hugs him tightly. The bear holds its prey tightly with both its hands and squeezes him to death. If he is still alive, he gives him another tight hug to kill him. Every animal is unique and has some special characteristics. What tricks does the poet adopt in distinguishing various wild animals? Every animal is unique. They have their own special trait, color, size, characteristics. It becomes rather difficult for a novice to distinguish among wild animals. The Asian lion is found in the jungles of the eastern regions. It is a huge, mighty creature with brownish hide. His roar is enough to scare a person to death. The Bengal tiger is a noble, impressive wild animal. He has yellowish hide and black stripes all over it. The leopard has dark spots all over his body. He is very agile. The moment he sees its prey, he pounces upon it without showing any mercy. The bear is known by his strong and tight hug. Hyenas and crocodiles can be easily recognized. Hyenas come smiling merrily while crocodiles appear to be weeping. The chameleon is a small creature like a lizard. He has no ears and doesn't have even a single wing. You can find him sitting on a tree. Figures of speech, imagery. The use of descriptive language by a poet or an author that helps the reader to visualize the pictures in one's mind. The image of the Bengal tiger is created when we read the lines, "A noble beast greets you with black stripes with a yellow background." An oxymoron is a figure of speech that combines contradictory or opposite terms to create a new phrase that expresses a paradoxical idea. The oxymoron is used in noble wild beast. The word noble implies a sense of honor, dignity, and grace, while wild beast suggests an untamed savage animal. These two terms are contradictory and create a paradoxical expression, making it an oxymoron. The same can be found in the phrase true chameleon. Metaphor. This poetic device is used when a comparison is made between two different things or ideas. In the poem, the metaphors have been used in an ironical way. Roar with pain. The painful voice compared ironically with the roar of a leopard. A noble wild beast. Ironically, Leopard is shown here as a noble one. The term caress is used ironically for a bear's claw attack. Alliteration is the repetition of the same sound that is used in the beginning of the closely placed words. Lap and lap again. L is repeated. Roaming round. R is repeated. Very, very hard. V is repeated. Novice, might, nonplus. N is repeated. Repetition is a poetic device that is used to repeat single words, phrases, or even stanzas at intervals. He'll only lap and lap again. Who hugs you very, very hard? Lap and lap is a repetition. Very, very. It's again a repetition. Personification. This poetic device is used to bestow human qualities on something that is not human. The poet refers to the tiger not as it, but as he. In the poem, Hyena and Crocodile have been personified. The human qualities of smiling and weeping have been given to the Hyena and Crocodile respectively. Irony is a poetic device that is used by the poets to bring humor or satire on somebody or something. It is done by giving two meanings to a word or a phrase, that is, surface meaning and underlying meaning. For example, a noble wild beast greets you. He'll give you just one more caress. This is irony. Word meanings. Dying. Hide means animal skin. Distinguish, identify. Strolling, wandering. Tawny, brownish yellow. Discern, make out, identify. Caress, a gentle loving touch. Peppered, covered with spots. Nonplussed, confused, surprised. Novice, a beginner, someone new to a job. Quick revision notes. If by chance you visit a forest in the east, and if a huge terrible animal comes to you, and if it roars loudly, and if you are dying, then you will come to know that it is an Asian lion. If a wild animal with black stripes on yellow hide welcomes you and eats you, then this simple rule will teach you that it is a Bengal tiger. When strolling through the jungle, if you see an animal whose hide is covered with spots and it jumps at you and starts eating you, then you understand that it is a leopard. There will be no use of shouting with pain because it will continuously eat you. If you are just walking around in your yard and an animal meets you and it hugs you tightly, then believe that it is a bear. If you have any doubt, then it will kiss you. As a novice, you may be confused to recognize animals. You can differentiate between crocodile and hyena. Hyena always smiles, but if tears come from its eyes, then it is a crocodile. An original chameleon is like a lizard. It doesn't have ears or wings. If there is nothing on the tree, then you will find there a chameleon, because it changes its color according to the surface it sits on. Thank you.